Hey kids, I'm Pastor John. I'm here to bring you this week's kids' time, children's time, and I am excited because this past Wednesday in Vacation Bible School with the Open Door Churches, we talked about making s'mores. And I know that most people love s'mores. So I'm gonna remind you, this is how you make a s'more, right? You have to have some graham crackers, okay? Graham crackers, got it? Just regular, not cinnamon, okay? Just the regular graham crackers I think are the best. So you take those and you take a whole one and you break it in half so you have two squares instead of one long rectangle, right? And then you have to have some chocolate. Doesn't have to be Hershey's chocolate, but I do recommend Hershey's chocolate. And so you have to have one of these. So you take the two pieces of the graham cracker and you put the chocolate on it. And then what else do you have to have? Do you know? A marshmallow, right? And so you stick a stick through it and you hold it over a fire. That's why it's for camping or other kinds of places where you might have a campfire or something like that. You put the stick through the marshmallow, you hold it over the flame, you make it until it's just nice and toasty brown, and then while you have the chocolate on the graham cracker, you put the hot, right? You put the hot marshmallow on top, and then you put the other graham cracker on top and you squeeze down, right? And so the hot marshmallow kind of melts the chocolate just a little bit, not all the way, but just right. So it's still kind of chewy, and then you eat it, right? Do you like s'mores? I like s'mores. But you know what? I'm gonna make a confession. I don't like marshmallows. Seriously, I don't like marshmallows. You could give me a nice juicy marshmallow and I would not eat it because I don't like just marshmallows. I only like marshmallows when they're in s'mores. That's right. So I have another confession to make. This isn't a real marshmallow. I actually made this marshmallow. And you know what? I wouldn't eat this marshmallow either because it's made out of paper. I just made it so I could show you how to make a s'more. But the thing is that even though I don't like marshmallows, I don't like s'mores unless they have marshmallows in them. Does that make any sense? Because it's not a real s'more unless it has marshmallows, unless it has all three things. Now, I will tell you one thing. I like s'mores so much that if you gave me a choice between having a s'more and having a sandwich, I would take the s'more every time because they're yummy, right? And so sometimes maybe you think, I love s'mores so much that if I could just eat s'mores and nothing else, I would be happy for the rest of my life. But that's probably not true, right? Not only would you get tired of eating just s'mores, but you wouldn't really have all the nutrition that you need to be healthy and to grow upright. So they're good for every once in a while, but they're not good enough to sustain you every single day, right? Even if you might want them every single day, you can't eat just s'mores. Well, in the same way that you can't eat just s'mores, one of the things that we have to remember is that we can't get by just having one kind of way of being in relationship with God. We have to have all different kinds of ways of doing that. And one of the best ways, if we really want to know what it means to love God, the best way to do that is to love one another. And sometimes loving one another means that we give somebody something to eat. In the stories that we've been talking about in Bible school, some of those stories have had to do with Jesus feeding other people. And in the story that we're talking about in worship today, he talks about what it means to feed one another. Sometimes we need food, like real food that we can eat. And the thing about that kind of food is, no matter how many times we eat, whether it's something delicious like a s'more or something else that's more like just nutritious, we'll have to be hungry. We will be hungry again and we'll have to eat some more. But one of the things that Jesus says is that once we begin to have spiritual food, once we begin to love one another, that's enough to help us live the right way forever, because we won't be hungry anymore, because we'll finally have what we need over everything else in the world. What we need most is love. Will you pray with me? Dear God, thank you for giving us Jesus, who called himself the bread of life. Help us to fill each other with good things. Sometimes it's food, and sometimes it's love. Amen.